What's up, guys, and welcome back to the channel. Don't forget, stick around to the end. If you guys have been following along on my weight loss journey, I'll have an update for you at the end of this video once we get done with the car stuff. So on today's video, I might just be opening up a can of worms that I might not want to open, but you know what, we're going to have some fun with it, so let's get started. We're going to talk about the top 5 and the worst 5 wheels you can put on your Fox Body Mustang. Now guys, I do want to say this is all my opinion. This is all in good fun. I love talking about stuff like this. I love arguing about stuff like this. This is sometimes what we do as car guys. We like to argue with fellow car guys about what we all think and what our opinion is of what we think is the best and the worst on a car. This could be from any criteria, whether it be paint colors, wheels, tires options. The list goes on and on and on. So let's have some fun, and here's going to be some of my opinions. So guys, here's going to be the criteria for this first category. We're going to talk about stock wheels. When I say stock wheels, we're going to include anything from 1979 to 2004 and what I would consider the top 5 and the worst 5 wheels that you could put on your Fox Body Mustang. Now yes, I did include your 94 to 2004 cars, because as many of us have done, we've actually taken those wheels and put on our Fox bodies because some of them look so good and they fit. Isn't it kind of crazy how that works? Now boys, when I first started thinking about doing this video, I knew we might get some folks that might get their feelings hurt. Please don't get your feelings hurt, because you know what? This is all in good fun, and this is just my opinion, and my opinion doesn't count for a lot. This is going to be just for good fun, good conversation. Heck, let's have some fun argument. That's one thing I think about, is having a good argument. I used to love arguing with my buddy Donnie back in high school. And Donnie, if you're watching this, man, do you remember the hours you and I would spend? Man, we'd argue about anything. And for the sake of argument, sometimes we'd agree with each other, but we're going to argue anyway, and a lot of it was about cars. All right, boys, getting right into it. We're going to start off with the best, and then we'll talk about the worst. So of the stock wheels, number 5, starting with the best, was the 2003 anniversary wheel, which was available on the 2003 Mustang Cobra. And these were 2003 cars only. Now we think 2003, why was that an anniversary wheel? Well, that was actually the 10th anniversary of Ford SVT, and that was a special edition car that was to celebrate the 10th anniversary, and they also only made 2003 of those. Number 4, the FR 500. And the FR 500 is an interesting one to me, because I really didn't know where the FR 500 originated from, but it was actually from, in 1999, Ford Special Vehicle Team put together a Ford racing version, and it was a FR, meaning Ford Racing 500, which was actually a 5-liter motor car that I think was naturally aspirated right around 420 horsepower. So pretty nice car that was intended to be sold as a Ford racing model. They actually had some custom, car also had some custom design cues and some custom body kit on it that was also a little bit different, even though it was still based on the 1999 Cobra. I've got some pictures for that, but those wheels, as we see, you see those on ton of SN95, of New Edge, and of course also on the Fox Body Mustang. Number 3 comes from one of the most iconic Mustangs to ever be built, in my opinion, was the 03-04 Terminator Cobra. Those 5-spoke wheels are some of the best looking wheels, in my opinion, that Ford has ever produced. I really thought long and hard about putting those on my car, and that's why they find it on my list as number 3 best looking wheel to put on your Fox Body Mustang. Number 2, we're actually going to go with the wheel that was originally on a Fox Body Mustang, and that all started in 1991 when Ford did some updates on the car, and also one of the big updates they did was the 16-inch pony wheel. My goodness, back in the day, because that's when I was in high school, and actually I had a 91 Mustang GT with the ponies with it back in 92. So I had a car that was dang near new back in the day with the ponies on it, and man, that was a game changer. But guys, still, that's probably something where I'm also influenced by my past, because I had one of those cars. I had a 91, and my goodness, man, I loved those ponies, and they were a game changer in the appearance of the Fox Body Mustang, in my opinion. And drum roll, please. Number one, my pick for the best looking Fox Body Mustang wheel was actually from the original Fox Body Mustang, and it was only on 1993 cars. I bet you guys know where I'm going with this one, and that was your wheel for the 1993 Cobra. One of my favorite wheels you can put on any Fox Body Mustang, and they look phenomenal. You can't go wrong with that wheel, and that is kind of one of those wheels you either love them or hate them, but I absolutely love that, and that's why it's my number one pick. Now here's where the real fun's going to start. Let's go ahead and talk about what I would consider the worst looking wheels on a Fox Body Mustang from any stock Mustang from 1979 to 2004. Let's get into it. Number 5, the turbine. Oh yeah, it was the turbine. And I know some of you guys aren't going to agree with me on this one, but I absolutely always hated the turbine wheel. When you could actually start buying the aftermarket ponies, and when people back in droves, back when I was in high school, if you had a car that had the turbines on it, and if you could afford to put some ponies on there, that was the best and easiest way to upgrade the appearance on your car and made your car immediately look, in my opinion, 10 times better. So those old 15-inch turbines that you found on your 87 to 1990, primarily GT, a couple other models, but for the most part your GT Mustangs, oh, those things were hideous, in my opinion. Number 4 is going to be the 10-hole. Yep, the 10-hole. I think that's probably, in a lot of people's opinion, is going to be a love it or hate it kind of wheel. Actually, I don't mind the 10 holes when they're on, say, an 85 or 86 car, which they were original to on like your GTs back in that day. And I think they look good, and I think they look appropriate. But I was not a fan of them on an aero car. I don't know why, but I just wasn't. So anything that had the 10 holes on it, just wasn't a huge fan back in the day. So that's why they're going to make it on my number 4. Number 3 is actually going to be your stock wheel that came on your 94 to 97 Cobras, just the standard version. Those wheels, as you can see in these pictures, I mean, yeah, do they look appropriate on a Cobra? Yes. And I'm not a fan of them, but I think they look appropriate on a Cobra. And I'm not going to say I've never seen a Fox Body that has them on it that I don't like, because I like all Fox Bodies. But when it comes to my worst of the stock wheels, that's actually going to come in as my number 3 worst. And number 2, and I have to tell you guys why. You got to get a little bit of backstory on this one. I am tainted by my past. One of the most popular options, and you've seen them everywhere on your Fox Body back in the day, in your mid to 1990s to all the way up to your early 2000s, is everybody and their brother, it felt like to me, especially where I'm from, put Cobra R's on their car. I hate them. And I don't hate the wheel. You know what I mean? It's kind of, I don't know how to explain it. I don't know if it's just because so many people put them on their cars that it ruined it for me, because I actually kind of like the wheel itself. But when you see so many on so many cars, and I like the uniqueness, and I get why folks did it, especially, you know, if you had the choice between a Pony or a Cobra R and you had turbines on your car and you liked the Cobra R's, I get it. I know why you did it. Again, don't forget, this is only my opinion, but I am also tainted by my past on this one. And here, in my opinion, is the worst looking wheel for a couple of different reasons on your Fox Body Mustang, and that is the TRX wheel. And the TRX wheel was actually a style of wheel that was actually developed, I think, by Michelin back in the day, and the rim was actually different too. Of course, we all know that I think those were 15.4 inches. They were actually a metric, maybe, what is that, 390 millimeters. So if you took that wheel back in the day, the lip on the wheel was formed differently, and they had developed these TRX wheels, which Michelin, I think being based a French company, developed the sidewalls to work differently on those, to where they would still have a soft feeling ride, but also have increased performance, because tire technology back in your early 80s was not what it was today. So they developed those wheels to still have good performance with a shrinking sidewall, and that's what was developed. Now, just shortly after that, that didn't last long, because tire technology jumped leaps and bounds from that because I think about from then to say the Goodyear Gatorbacks that were on my 91 Mustang, those were a completely different tire back in the day compared to what your TRXs were, and the sidewalls were a lot shorter for better handling and performance, but they were also a soft sidewall. So there you go. But also the wheel itself, in my opinion, just can't hang. Not my kind of wheel. Now guys, I'd actually put together enough info today to do 2 parts, because I know there's no way I could get all this crammed into 1 part, because you guys aren't going to stand around listening to me talk for 30 minutes. Try to keep these videos down to around 15 minutes or less. So next week we're going to do part 2, and part 2 is actually going to be all of your aftermarket wheels and what the best and worst is. It's going to be the same format we did on this video of my top 5 and the worst 5 that you can put on your car that are aftermarket wheels for the Fox Body Mustang. I really hope you guys enjoyed this video as much as I enjoyed putting this together for you. I love sitting back and thinking about this and really thinking about which wheels just really turn me on and which wheels really turn me off. And I'm one of those firm believers that wheels really do make a car. And again, guys, it's your car, it's your thing. And I've told you guys on videos before, I don't care if you paint your car pink. I'm not going to dog you on it. I'm just never going to paint my car pink. I'm not going to put 22s on my car. If you want to put 22s on your car, you go right ahead. I'm not going to make fun of you. Well, publicly anyway. But anyway, guys, but I appreciate you guys sticking around. I appreciate all the comments. I appreciate all the support. Also, at the end of this video, I'll give you that update. And until then, guys, I'll see you on the next one. All right, boys, I just got off of work from my day job. I'm being real quiet because Angel don't want me to have her on film. She's actually out here working on the 57. She wants that car done just as much as I do. She's been working on it. She's been off all day. Let's go see what she's got done, and then we'll get to that weight. What you doing in here, honey? Looks like you got some work done on these fenders. Oh, look at that. Got that one blocked down.
I can't mix filler. I just can't.
You can't mix filler?
No.
What are you talking about? Why can't you mix filler?
That's awful.
Guys, I gave her a lesson last night on mixing filler, and
It didn't take.
I guess it didn't work well. I guess I got a little work to do here in just a minute. Well, I think I got Boss Lady lined out, but I'm not sure. We're going to see in the finished product. I'm not going to tell you what she was doing. All right, so I want to thank everybody for following along with this weight loss journey. You guys are really helping keep me on track. So let's go ahead and talk about what I've lost for last week. And here we go. So I weighed this morning, and I was at 292 pounds. Pretty satisfied with that. That was a 5-pound weight loss from the previous week. So the last 2 weeks I've lost 5 pounds per week, so well above the 2.5-pound goal that we've got before we get to Ford Takeover. Now my goal for Ford Takeover, that's not my total goal. That's just the goal to reach for Ford Takeover, and that'd be a milestone that I would like to reach. Now we'll go ahead and get our tally up. So if my 4th grade math works correct, that means we've got a negative 14 pounds so far for the total. So doing all right. So let's do 5 pounds again next week. Heck, what about 6? That'll get me down 20. I might have to work a little harder. We'll see you on the next video. See you guys then.